We're at Level School. We're looking at the well here, which supplies the water for the buildings and the irrigation.
Here in California's Central Valley, wells at some schools are so tainted with residue from pesticides that posted warnings alert people not to drink the water from the tap.
It's not safe. It's not safe because people are thirsty right after PE. They'll drink. When I was in high school, they would drink that water. It's pretty scary.
The potential danger lurking in the pipes has forced the school to bring in bottled water.
Get water?
But this school isn't alone. The Associated Press found that about 1 in 5 schools that operate its own well violated the Safe Drinking Water Act between 1998 and 2008. While California was the worst offender with 612 violations in schools and districts, all 50 states have offenders. There were 451 violations in Ohio, 417 in Maine, and 318 in Connecticut. In cities like Washington, D.C., where the water comes from local utilities, voluntary tests have revealed dangerous levels of lead and other contaminants. These large urban districts don't have to test their water for contaminants because the Environmental Protection Agency regulates the water providers. But citizens groups have fought to get into schools to conduct tests. They've also demanded schools provide results of their own testing.
We as parents have the right to this information. No matter what the schools tell us, we do have the right to obtain this information, and parents who can't get the information ought to fight for it.
But for many schools, there is no information. A survey by the Centers for Disease Control found that nearly half of all schools don't test their water for lead, despite the fact that the EPA has asked states to step up monitoring of lead contamination.
There's no safe level of lead. It's a very well-known neurotoxin that can adversely affect every major organ system in the body. So it's something you want to take very seriously.
In response to the AP's findings, California Senator Barbara Boxer asked the EPA to tell Congress how federal drinking water standards are being enforced.
Fix the problem, whatever it is, just fix it.
While acknowledging that there are schools that violate safe drinking water standards, the EPA says they represent only a small percentage of the nation's schools. The agency says the bulk of the nation's young students have access to safe water. Matt Friedman, The Associated Press.